Well, all right, everybody, welcome into today's video. We're going to be talking about why mortgage rates might not be coming down anytime soon. So if you're someone who's on the sidelines and you're counting on mortgage rates to come down, we might be waiting a little while, especially with the new administration, with the Trump administration. We're going to be talking about how some of Trump's policies can actually lead to more inflation. Which would mean rates ain't going anywhere. Rates are going to stay up. If inflation ain't coming down, rates ain't coming down. That's the rule of thumb. But we're citing an article here from Yahoo Finance. First off, if you're new to the channel's been steadily growing. We are the Cream Real Estate Investors. We're full-time real estate investors. We cover current events and anything having to do with housing, real estate. We are active real estate flippers and wholesalers, and we own and manage a portfolio. If you're interested in learning more about how you could get in the game, we do offer coaching. You can check out a link down below, creamlaunch.com. Set up a free call, no obligations, and we'll give you all the info. So, mortgage rates pose a new threat to housing market. Frustrating buyers, a lot of frustrated buyers. This is not a great time to be a house buyer. Rates are high. Very little inventory, but what this article talks about is inventory is actually loosening up in some areas. The average days on market is going up for real estate listings up to 58 days. But you know what else is going up? Average days on market's going up, but rates are up 6.9% last week. We are testing the early July peak here, so we're just under 7%. And guess what else is going up, everybody? The average home price. So check this out. Average home price, $425. So home prices are not coming down. However, inventory is loosening a little bit, but the rates are not coming down. Everybody wants interest rates to come down, but here's the thing, everybody. Inflation is kind of a little bit sticky. We're not going below 2% on the inflation, but the job and the retail spending reports, economic data has been strong. This is what's keeping rates high. So if the economic data and the job market, and we were getting all sorts of bad news for the economy, rates would be coming down. But we're not. We're seeing actually strong economic data. Therefore, the Fed has no reason to lower interest rates. And then also, like I mentioned, inflation is kind of staying sticky where it's at. But also, there are fears that inflation is going to go up. And this article talks about that. Basically, the number one fear is the Trump tariff plan. Tariffs are going to cause inflation. And I agree with this. Right? I mean, this is just dollars and cents and numbers here. So the tariff plan for the new President-elect, 47th President, Donald Trump, is basically if there's a producer, if somebody manufactures something outside of the U.S. and they want to sell to U.S. citizens, they want to sell their product that they manufactured, right, in another country, they want to sell it to American citizens here on American soil, the federal government is planning on charging them a tariff or like a fee. That's what this is, right? I've heard anywhere from 10 to 30%, all the way up as high as 100%. I've heard Trump say, I know he kind of goes off the rails sometimes with his rallies and whatnot. I've heard him say, though, he's going to charge 100% tariff to other countries who are manufacturing goods outside of the U.S. And believe me, everybody, there's a ton of stuff that is manufactured in China, in Mexico, in all over Malaysia. Tons of stuff from shoes, right, to building materials for housing. So much stuff is manufactured outside the U.S. So if Trump is imposing a tariff onto all these companies that manufacture stuff outside the U.S. and want to bring it into the U.S., those costs are likely going to be passed on to the consumer, which means higher prices, which means higher inflation, which means the Fed can't drop the rates. I'm telling you, it's like this contradictory thing. I know Trump ran on the fact that, tariffs are going to be the way. And I don't disagree. I think, other countries, I think businesses, if they're manufacturing stuff and taking jobs out of America and putting these jobs into other countries for the cheap labor, they should have to pay to play, right? If you want to sell to American consumers, right? Essentially, these companies are taking jobs away from Americans, but still want to sell to Americans. I mean, that's where the tariff comes into play. But if you're wanting both, if you're wanting high tariffs for these companies and lower prices, that's contradictory, right? Because these tariffs are likely going to be passed on to the consumer, which means also if you want lower rates, you can't have higher prices, right? If you want the Fed to lower the interest rates, CPI, the consumer price index, inflation needs to come down. But Trump tariffs would make prices go up. This is what people are afraid of. So therefore, they are saying, a lot of economists here cited in this article, basically are talking about they don't think rates are going to come down anything substantially in 2025. And I have to agree. When it comes to new construction, this is the other talking point that we have been talking about on this channel, and a lot of economists are talking about increasing inventory. Another Trump policy he's talking about putting into play is opening up federal lands for new housing. Even if he was to do that, where are these federal lands? The housing shortage is mostly in major metropolitan areas. There's no federal lands around these major metropolitan areas. We're talking about out in the boondocks, out in the sticks. So I don't know if that policy is going to help the housing crisis or the housing shortage in any way. But I will tell you this, permits for new construction are going up. That's good. I think we're going to see a lot of permits for new construction go up, especially if the Trump administration does some deregulation and makes it easier to cut through the red tape. That is something. But again, this stuff, it takes a long time. There's no immediate relief, I should say. We're not going to see any immediate relief in the interest rates unless we start seeing some really bad economic data come in which case we're now in a heavy recession. That's going to tamper, prices on buyers and people's ability to buy. People are getting laid off. If the jobs numbers start to suffer, people are losing their jobs. That's not a good thing. I don't think they're going to be buying any houses. But the worse the economic data gets, we could expect rate cuts, but the economic data has been solid. And then, if Trump imposes this tariff plan, which I think he's going to, we could expect to see higher prices, higher inflation, and that would kind of tamper any expectations for rate cuts as well. This is the world we're living in, everybody. This is the news. This is what's going on. Here's the thing to do if you're a real estate investor. You can always make money. I don't care if interest rates are at 4% or 14%. It doesn't matter. If you can create a cash flow, if you know how to buy right, okay? If you know how to buy right, which we teach people how to do, we teach people how to go off market, find off market deals. These are buying from regular mom and pops. You're not buying through realtors or brokers or online or anything like that. Learn to buy deals off market and buy right. And it doesn't matter if interest rates are 4% or 14%. If you can create a positive cash flow and not have any crazy, assumptions, right? And not speculate and just like brass tacks numbers. I know I could rent this property for this amount. This is what I'm paying for it. It doesn't matter what your cost of money is, 4% or 14%. If you could create a positive cash flow and learn to buy right, you will be successful. And you are buying in areas that you want to own in, you will be successful in this business. And this is exactly what we do. We're doing transactions every single month, every single week, right? We have a robust flipping company and we own and manage a portfolio. We manage the properties ourselves. So we see it all within this office. We'd be happy to help you on your real estate investing journey as well. Once again, if you're interested in learning about getting some coaching We do have a link in the comments below, creamlaunch.com. We're happy to set up a call with you. It's a free call, no obligations whatsoever to learn about our coaching. If you check out our live streams on this channel, look at the last two that we did. These are people that we've coached up. Our coaching students are very successful, and we're very proud of that, right? It's very gratifying for myself as a real estate investor and as a coach to not only see our own success. That's fun. That gets a little boring, but it is very, very gratifying and makes me very happy to see people that we work with are getting out there and becoming self-made millionaires through real estate. You can do it too. Doesn't matter what's going on with the economy. It doesn't matter what's going on in the White House. There's always a way to make money, and that's what we're here to do on this channel. So once again, if you're interested, check out the link below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We love bringing you this content. We're seeing the channel steadily grow. Grateful for each and every single one of you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I do reply to each and every single comment. Make it a great day, and we'll